All right, guys, today we're going to start taking a look at properties of quadrilaterals. Remember, those are characteristics. What makes it a quadrilateral? Same thing as what makes Miss Ainley, Miss Ainley. All right, so we're going to look at properties of quadrilaterals. The very first thing we're going to look at is just parallelograms. In fact, for the next couple of days, that's what we're going to be focusing on. I'm just going to draw a picture of a parallelogram, which is a slanted rectangle, just so that you can see what properties are going to go into this. All right, I start with the most obvious. All right, so somewhere in the middle top, because what we're going to do is we're going to stick something over this, okay? So somewhere in the middle top, you're going to write down number one. What is the most obvious thing? It's in the word of a parallelogram. Parallelogram. All right, what's the most obvious thing? That it has obviously two sets of parallel sides. So two pairs of parallel sides. So number one, two pairs of parallel sides. All right, so properties of parallelograms. There are going to be 5 things that you need to remember with this. All right, 5 things that you need to remember. 1, 2 pairs of parallel sides. Number 2. Number 2 and number 3, actually. Number 2 is going to be that the opposite sides, let's do opposite angles, actually. Let's do opposite sides. Because this is a slanted rectangle, obviously we know in a rectangle that this is equal to this and this is equal to this. So because it's slanted, the sides didn't change. The only thing that changes is the angles. So because of that, the opposite sides of a parallelogram are congruent. All right, so number 2, opposite sides are congruent. Okay. Also, because of that, opposite angles, so this right here and this right here, this and this, not all of them, just opposite angles are congruent. So number 3, opposite angles are congruent. All right. Now, because of that, because opposite angles are congruent, there's going to be one more that's going to come out of it. So let's say, for example, this one right here. Let's pick easy numbers so we could do this. Let's pick 30. If this is 30, opposite that has to be what? 30. Now remember, this is still a quadrilateral, so all of them have to add up to what? That's right, 360. Now, because they have to add up to 360, so 360 minus, I already have 30, and I already have another 30. So now I have 300. But remember, opposite sides have to be congruent. So because they have to be congruent, I have to take that 300 and divide it by 2, which is going to give me 150. 150 there, 150 here. Okay. What do you notice about angles, consecutive angles, or angles on the same side? They are supplementary. And if you extend this line, okay, unit 1 comes back to haunt you because look at that. Okay, same side are supplementary. So consecutive angles, or if you call them same side, consecutive angles are supplementary. All right, and there's one more, 5. All right, and this has got to do with the diagonals. And this is basically what happens. This is a diagonal from one corner to another, one corner to another. The diagonals bisect each other. In other words, they cut each other in half. So this half is equal to this half. And then this is a different half, but this different half is equal to this different half. So the last one is going to be diagonals bisect one another. One another. All right, so 5 things. I like to think of it as a parallelogram. If I can write. It's 2 pairs of parallel sides. Opposite sides and opposite angles are congruent. Same side are supplementary, and the diagonals bisect each other. If you know these 5 things, it doesn't matter what kind of problems they give you, you're going to be able to answer all of them. And so what we're going to do now is just pretty much just practice using these 5 things. They are never going to give you these 5 things in a test. You have to remember these.